Available now. Link below.
Welcome to this urgent special report where we'll be exposing the devastating economic fallout of California's reckless $20 fast food minimum wage hike. So brace yourselves for a shocking reality check as we reveal how this misguided law is wreaking havoc on both consumers and businesses alike. You won't believe the staggering price increases at popular chains like Burger King and In-N-Out, leaving customers stunned and struggling to afford their favorite meals. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. As we peel back the layers of this ill-conceived policy, you'll discover the far-reaching consequences that threaten the very fabric of California's economy. Governor Gavin Newsom and his fellow Democrats have unleashed a storm of unintended consequences that will leave you outraged. So stay tuned for our final thought, where we will unveil the true cost of this disastrous wage hike and what it means for the future of the Golden State. Now, as California struggles with its economic fallout of the $20 fast food minimum wage, it's crucial to highlight another pressing issue that's threatening our nation's stability. Just as we rely on imports for every pound of nickel consumed, leaving us vulnerable to supply disruptions and price fluctuations, we must prioritize domestic production to secure our future. Alaska Energy Metals is poised to possess the largest nickel deposit in the United States. Committed to environmentally responsible mining practices, their progress is a beacon of hope amidst the economic chaos unleashed by misguided policies. To learn more about how you can support Americans' critical metal independence and help prevent further economic turmoil, visit alaskaenergymetals.com or just tap more below this video. Now let's get on with it. California's new minimum wage law, which took effect this past Monday, has created a $20 an hour wage for fast food workers. The economic consequences are already being felt as many chains across the state have increased their prices to cope with the new requirements. Fox News' Laura Ingraham covered this unfortunate news, highlighting how it affects both big corporations and smaller mom and pop shops. Take a look.
The future happens here first. California, where America's coming attraction. This is a big deal. Yeah, $20 an hour.
TIL, typical ignorant liberal. California's war against restaurants continued yesterday when Newsom's $20 an hour minimum wage went into effect for fast food chains.
It affects big names like McDonald's, Starbucks, and Chipotle. Some of those businesses have already said they'll be forced to raise prices at their restaurants. The reality of paying more for fast food brought fast response.
It's going to be more tougher for us to be able to afford a full meal for, in my case, a family of 5 or 6.
Another progressive policy that might sound good in theory, but the cost of living here is already out of control. So in practice, it's a complete nightmare. Joining me now, Chef Andrew Gruel, restaurant owner and founder of American Gravy Concepts. Andrew, now I thought this was supposed to, and I want to make sure everyone understands this, really only affect the big corporations. But how is this trickling down to the smaller groups?
Yeah, great question. So this was marketed as a way in which the corporations were going to pay their fair share and help the workers. But in reality, this is actually going to help the corporation and it's going to hurt the workers and the small businesses, which those are kind of one and the same to some degree.
Now, the price hikes are most evident at Burger King, where a Texas Double Whopper meal that costs $15.09 on March 29th surged to $16.89 on April 1st, a staggering increase of $1.80, nearly 12% for the very same meal. The Big Fish meal also jumped from $7.49 to $11.49, an increase of $4. That's 53%. Most other items on the menu saw increases ranging from 25 cents to $1. Now, Burger King was not the only chain affected. At Hart House, a fast food chain founded by the actor Kevin Hart, prices increased by up to 25%. Now, before the law was enacted, a large fry cost $4.49. On April 1st, that price went up to $5.99. Milkshakes of all sizes increased by $1, while most sandwiches went up by 50 cents. Now, at the In-N-Out Burger, the price hikes were the most modest, with burgers going up about 25 cents and sodas increasing by a nickel. However, these increases still add up over time, impacting consumers' wallets. While some customers, like Sean Fields, believe the increase are normal and reasonable, others, like Ivan Moreno, express concern about the ripple effect on the overall cost of living. As Moreno points out, When wages go up, prices follow suit, making it harder for people to make ends meet. Other restaurants that were checked, such as Chick-fil-A and Wendy's and McDonald's, showed no immediate change in prices. However, McDonald's franchisee Scott Roderick, who owns 18 restaurants in Northern California, has already raised menu prices between 5 and 7% in anticipation of the new law. Furthermore, the operational dynamics of fast food restaurants are shifting dramatically. At some McDonald's locations, counter staff and registers have been entirely replaced by self-serve kiosks, eliminating the need for employees altogether. Here is a video that's going viral right now.
April 1st, day $120 our minimum wage. No registers open. No menus turned on. Self-serve only.
Well, nobody waiting at the register. Let's see here. Still waiting.
Did you catch that sign? Let's get digital. Yeah, they're trying to make it sound like it's a big party. Well, Democrats in the state legislature passed a law last year raising the wages of more than 500,000 fast food workers. Governor Gavin Newsom, he praised the move, claiming it rewards the contribution and sacrifice of these workers, 80% of whom are people of color and 2/3 are women. However, this is far from a reward. While higher wages look great on paper, the unintended consequences are already becoming apparent. Fast food chains are not only increasing prices, but may also reduce their workforce to offset the wage hikes. An hour of work that previously cost $32 for 2 employees now costs $40, incentivizing chains to cut staff and increase the workload for the remaining employees. The economic fallout extends beyond the fast food industry. Foster's Freeze, a beloved California chain, went out of business on the same day the law took effect, laying off all 20 employees. Many workers initially thought it was an April Fool's joke, only to realize the harsh reality of the situation. Watch this.
We had walked up and those close signs, that was it.
20 employees in Lemoore were let go today because the owner says he could not afford to pay them with that increase. Now employees are upset, saying they were blindsided when coming into work. Fox 26 reporter Sophia Lesios explains why those employees were in disbelief. Sophia, what a surprise.
Yeah, Monty, former employees tell me that at first they thought it was an April Fool's joke, but that quickly changed when their boss handed them their final check.
I was so caught off guard. We had no type of notice, no type of warning even. The owner had told me Happy Easter.
Employees at Foster Freeze in Lemoore say they're now out of a job.
We had gotten a text in the group chat that we were shutting down, and I completely thought it was an April Fool's joke.
Turns out he wasn't the only one. Did you guys think that this was an April Fool's joke?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I thought, you must be joking. You must be playing with me.
But this was no joke.
By the time I got here, there was people in uniforms ready to start their day, not knowing that that would be their last check.
Monica Navarro, the former assistant manager, says when she got to the restaurant in the morning, the locks were being changed and employees were handed their final check.
I had walked in and he had just immediately was like, you guys are out of a job. I'm sorry.
What a mess. Governor Gavin Newsom and the Democrats who supported this law failed to grasp the fundamental principles of economics. Their well-intentioned but misguided policy has set off a chain reaction of price increases, job losses, and reduced hours for workers. As the ripple effect spreads throughout California's economy, it's the very people that they claim to be helping who will suffer the most. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thought. As we've seen, California's $20 fast food minimum wage is rapidly transforming the once affordable fast food experience into a fine dining price point. This short-sighted policy, championed by Democrats and Governor Gavin Newsom, is a reminder of the unintended consequences that arise when politicians prioritize virtue signaling over sound economic principles. By forcing businesses to bear the brunt of this wage hike, the government has set in motion a domino effect that ultimately hurts the very people it claims to help. Employees face reduced hours, increased workloads, and even job losses as companies scramble to maintain profitability. Meanwhile, consumers, you and me, we're left to foot the bill, paying premium prices for what was once a quick and affordable meal. As Californians grapple with the harsh realities of this misguided law, It serves as a warning to the rest of the nation. Beware of politicians who promise prosperity through reckless policies that defy economic fundamentals. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.